Okay, so hi everyone. Today we are discussing about the serverless API of JsonPowerDB. So first of all, we have ping and pluggable ping. So ping API is used to check whether like the JsonPowerDB is online or not. So it's very simple. Like for ping, we don't have any request. We just have an endpoint URL. So I've already prepared this request. So like this. This is the URL you're sending, and you just have to send an empty request. And if you press send, you will receive the message pong, and like it will tell this is a response telling that server is online. Otherwise you can also use the other API, which is the pluggable ping. In this we have to pass the connection token also, so that also I've already prepared. So this is my connection token and I'm passing this, and the same result is achieved. But this can be used to also to verify your connection token also, just
And
in a very.
also, like its URL is different.
Yes, sir. So the endpoint URL is for this is different than the previous one. Now we will see about send email and get unique ID. So first of all, send email. So send email is we are using this to send emails from the JPDB server, and like so we are having connection token email to. So this will be the email address to the person you are sending. Then CC BCC, the subject of the email, and email content whichever we want to send. So for this, first of all, you have to set up the SMTP settings in the JPDB user dashboard. So this is my JsonPowerDB user dashboard. In this, I'm going to tools, right? And in tools, we have a column called SMTP settings. So this is an example for Gmail. So I've created a Gmail account called ABC No Reply 7, and for Gmail you have to put host as this only, and this is the port number for Gmail. But this user will be the email you are using. For this email you have to first make it less secure to be able to use SMTP in Gmail, and this is the password for your email, right? So as you can see, everything is already ready. Now I'll just show you by sending an email, right? So let's see. So this is an email. I have chosen myself as a recipient, and these are like various accounts I'm using. So I'm just going to press send, and it will show that oh shit. Actually, I had changed the password, so that's why it's not coming. Hit settings. Let's try again. Yeah, so email has been sent successfully. So now in my email, I can show you that right now, at this moment 508, we have received this email from ABC no reply. To all the other people are also there, but BCC is not shown because to only the BCC percent will be viewable, right? So just a normal email. Next up we
Okay,
have.
just a minute, Jayant.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you go to the dashboard?
Sure, sir.
So, this is SMTP setting. What is SMTP? Simple Mail Transport Protocol. So, this is basically used for sending emails, and this actually allows to reduce the spamming. SMTP server normally should be different. So Gmail has their SMTP server, and you might need to make it like less secure, but you can have other SMTP servers also apart from Gmail, and you need to set these values if you want to send email through JsonPowerDB. So JsonPowerDB serverless features are features that normally developer needs to code differently or separately from database. So JsonPowerDB, what we are trying is making most of the things serverless. So this is one of the feature of JsonPowerDB to go serverless. So you need not to have a server code to send email. Instead, JsonPowerDB, just by setting SMTP, you can send email with the email API, serverless API. So the URL for this API is, can you show the your request?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just show the URL. So it is again a serverless slash send email. And if you use your token, you will be able to send emails once your SMTP is set. Yeah, Jayant, you can continue now.
Thank you, sir. So next up we have get unique ID. So this is just a API to like generate a unique ID. In this also we don't have any request. So just we send this empty request. So let me show you. So like this. Oh no, sorry. Okay, I have not made this. Okay, and the
Jayant, your voice is low.
the endpoint URL. I'll just copy this here. Control V, right. So I'll just send this empty request and it will give me the a unique ID. This will be unique each time I send this request, right? So this is like 16, starting from 16 and ending from 500, right? Now we can test it again. I'm sending it again and again it's different. Like now it's 501. So each time you send this request, you'll get a new ID as a return.
So, you must be thinking, what is the use of this? So, unique ID is basically needed in many applications where you need to process a series of data for a particular output. Like suppose, for example, you want to process a passbook. So passbook has front page and many inside transaction page. So all these pages will get uploaded one by one. How server will came to know that these all pages are associated with a single passbook. So what normally a programmer does, they generate a unique ID, and while uploading each of the page of passbook, they normally associate it with this unique ID. So at server, this unique ID can be treated as can be used for combining all those pages. So there are many applications of unique ID where they need that unique ID should be thread safe and consistent also, like and fast in performance also. So like we can be able to generate you can say millions of unique ID per second. So this is like really useful in database application, and many database like do not have such feature. So that's why we they normally do it generate it using programs. So that coding is not required to get the unique ID.
Yes, sir. So yeah, Umang, your doubt has been cleared. So next up we have counter API. We'll discuss this in another session. We have session APIs. So like for
So Jen just wanted to have a background on this because Diksha is new to here. So session is actually required like whenever you log in, say for example you log in into Amazon. So you actually keep on adding articles to your cart. So they will be associated with your session. So whenever you log in into say Amazon or any of the website, they will create a session. That session will remain till you log in, and once you log out, that session will be destroyed. So that session is also associated with some unique session ID, you can say. So normally this session is created programmatically or by application server, but JSON PowerDB provide a feature to generate these session tokens also. Yeah, Jen, please continue.
okay. So we have three APIs for managing the sessions. We have get new session, which will generate a new session token. So in this, we are using a attribute called seed value. So it's just a random number which you can give to generate a new session token, and it will be always unique. So I'll just show you. Uh, get new session, right? This can't changes. So like I've given seed value 4. Let's give 6, suppose. It doesn't matter which, you can give any integer value. So this is a unique session we have generated, and the message is session token created, status is 200. So like let's copy this, I'm sorry, let's copy this session token to keep in it mind, okay? So that we can use it further. Control C, and I'll just paste it in this text file.
You might need to remove backslash because this is for double quotes.
Yes, sir.
Escaping double quotes. Yeah.
Right. So now let's create another session just to check like if it will get another unique session or not. So again, we are using the same seed number, but you will see it will generate a new session. So now you can compare this side by side. We'll see. So as you can see, these both are different. This is 682, this is 681. However, it maybe it is different, right? So it will give you a unique every time. So you need not worry about that. Now the next API we are having is to validate session. Like whether we have to check whether the session is present in the database or not, and secondly if the session has been expired or not, because every session will be get expired automatically after some duration of time. So let's try. So validate session. So I'll just take this session ID and paste it here, okay? And it is saying session token is valid, right? Now by default we are having a validity of 1 week for any session token which we are generating, but we can change this in the user dashboard. So if we go in the user dashboard again to tools, and in tools we have settings, right? So this is user token session timeout. It is saying 604800. This is in seconds, this time is in seconds. So this time is equivalent to the time of 1 week. Now I'll just change this to 20 seconds so that we can see. Oh, no, minimum is 1 hour is required. So I can't show you an expired session right now.
Yeah, but like you can show a valid session, like you can change the token ID, session token ID, and then it might respond with invalid session, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'll just show that. Okay. So what sir is saying that we know that this session token ID is valid, but let's make it invalid. So instead of 82, I'm making it 63. So now this session was never created, so it should say invalid token. And you can see it says session token does not exist. So it's working perfectly. And then lastly, we have the remove session API. So like whenever you are done with a session, you can just remove it from the database because you know that the user has already logged out. So whenever he'll log in again, a new session can be generated. So let's check this out. Remove session. Discard changes. And I'll just copy this again. Control C. Control V. Right. So it says session remove. Now if I run the validate session again for the same session, it will give the same response that the session does not exist. Sorry. So now you can see the same session has been removed and it says it does not exist. So that was all for session ID, session APIs. So That's how we can manage these sessions. I think there's some doubt in the chat box. Okay, we should allow session in seconds also, I think. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So like I think we are done with this session. Any questions from Umang or Diksha or
No, sir, no, not from my side.
सर
yeah?
सर जैसे अगर हम सेशन को सेकंड्स में अलाउ करेंगे तो फिर लाइक किस चीज़ के लिए यूज़ होगा इतने कम सेकंड्स के लिए?
नॉट श्योर बट आवर बहुत ज्यादा है. लाइक अगर सेशन को 5 मिनट में खत्म करना है या 2 मिनट में कंप्लीट करना है सेशन को, so we should have some granular or minor minimum value to be allowed. Maybe not in seconds, but yeah, in minutes also.
Okay.
So suppose some application requires user to log in, and like session is not only used for login, etc., but it can be used for some kind of processing that should allow to work within a minute or so. So if we have a session token and some application wants to use some resource for smaller time, so once that session token gets invalidated, so that particular work will not be allowed after that. It should be allowed only in given particular time period. So maybe, but there can be different utilities. It's up to the user, like who can imagine how to use it if we allow it for lesser duration.
Okay.